So cut in 6-inch hole in this wall to support our generator connector that goes to the house. So that's nice and secure out there. We're going to go ahead and put some caulking around the box out there, but that's kind of just cosmetic stuff. Inside, though, it looks horrific. So I have to fill this in somehow. So what I have to do is return the insulation back in there, get that little barrier of air, keep moisture out of both sides of that wall. And I have two options I'm looking at. One is, you saw the piece of wood in there. Put that in there behind there. Screw it in here and down here. And then back there I will have a support to screw the piece I cut out back in. And then I can, if I needed to, I have this drywall I can use again for something if I need it. So that's one option. The other option is these little patch kits. This is a 6x6 patch kit. And you see it fits perfectly in there. That's what I used as a template to cut that out so that it had this option. So this is just some mud tape, joint tape, little piece of aluminum. Take the backer off and just, it'll stick to the wall, the drywall. And then you just mud over that whole thing, let it dry, feather it out, and paint it if you want to. But those are my options. Since I have a stud here, I'm going to go vertical with this piece of wood. All right. So I'm just going to use a couple drywall screws to put my support piece in, and then just a couple drywall screws to hold the drywall in. See if I can do this without dropping the screws. Nope. So basically you just hold it here. All right, both of them. So push this against your drywall. Just come out a little ways because you're going to want some tape out here. I'll let that go in a little bit into the drywall so that'll blend in nice. And I will find that screw later, I suppose. Do the same thing down here. Watch your fingers. So now I have my support. All right, so now I take my cutout piece. Let's see, it looks like I drew this like this. So you can see I would cut it out. I used the, let me get that drywall saw. If you've never done any drywall cutting, this is the saw you're looking for. You have different lengths, but this cuts through really easily, and all you have to do is find your starting point. Give you some detail here. Find your starting point and just pound it in, and that'll go in straight, and then just start sawing. And then you can stop, do the same thing, come down, and you can make some pretty good integral cuts. You have to be aware of what's behind here though. If you feel some resistance, like you might have a cable or something, come back and go around it, or just find another spot, or just be careful. You hold it like this, and then you're only going in a little bit past the drywall, so be careful of that. Oh gosh. So now I know where my wood is because I have a line here for reference. So all I have to do is just Find a couple spots, make sure that's a little countersunk. And that's that. Here's the screw. And I'm going to do two. Two keeps things from rotating, gives you some extra support. I could do one, but there could be movement in that. It could spin around and just a little better workmanship, and you have a lot of support. And so that's nice and strong by itself. And all I have to do is just put some tape. I have a roll of tape that was like $7, and tape around the cutouts. If I wanted to, I could just put a bunch of tape around here. I could even use the patch kit and just take the aluminum piece off, and then I have just a nice square piece of tape, which is what I'm going to do. Look like about a 1/2 inch reveal on each side. Oh, that didn't go well. All right, so I could have taken my time and done that right. So it would have looked like that. But anyways, you see what the tape does. It gives nice surface area and creates a nice little physical bond, or I don't know, give you some support for your drywall mud. So I'm going to use tape though. All right, so here are the things I'm going to use. Use this knife, putty knife. It's nice and wide, so especially for right here, it'd be perfect. Here's some drywall tape that I used. I got from Ace. Ultra thin drywall joint tape. So it's really thin, so it doesn't create too much of a bump, so you don't have to feather out forever. Yeah. Cute. Here is the end. All right, here's my joint compound. It's ultra thin. Not going to have to use a lot. Not going to have to do a lot of sanding. I also got a very lightweight joint compound. I'll show you that in a second. So I'm going to cut them out a little over an inch. You can hardly see it. That's going to be a nice clean finish. Trim that side off. Looks like it's made of a fiberglass. I'm going to do every joint. All right. Now my joint is prepared. And this is the compound I got. It's by DAP, good product. But I did get the lightweight, low dust. Drywall's messy, and it's challenging to get perfect, but this is such a small area. They're in the garage, that doesn't matter. So I'm going to go totally amateur on this. I got the color changing one only because this is the only one they had, but it does turn white when it's dry. So any pinkish that you see, it still needs time to dry. So I'm going to do a couple light passes on it. And so this is something I haven't done enough to be really good at. So be prepared to be horrified. That's gonna leave a mess. All right, so I have another handicap, and this is kind of a hard spot to reach with all this plumbing here from our well. So the lighter you go, the less kind of sanding you're going to have to do, less mess. So that'll be my first pass. And I think for giggles, I'll do a hyperlapse and see if you can watch it turn colors.